Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into, well, the heart of India's financial world, Mumbai.
Mumbai, it's a city that just pulses with economic energy, doesn't it? You can almost feel its role in the nation.
Exactly. And it's so much more than just, a list of businesses. Mumbai is this incredible nexus point.
Mhm.
It's the engine driving a huge chunk of India's economy. It's where Bollywood became a global thing. And it's this place where dreams and harsh realities collide right there on the Arabian Sea.
It really is. A city of massive scale.
Yeah.
And those striking contrasts you mentioned.
Yeah, the density, the sheer number of people.
Right, those contrasts, the extreme density alongside that relentless chase for opportunity that's actually fundamental, I think, to understanding its economic power.
Okay.
We're talking, what, over 20 million people crammed in?
Mm.
And more arriving all the time.
Yeah.
It just shows that magnetic pull it has.
So that brings us to our mission today. What really makes Mumbai tick economically? What are the core things, the inner workings we need to grasp?
Okay, let's dive in. Where should we start? Maybe the raw numbers.
Good idea. Lay some groundwork.
All right, so Mumbai contributes roughly 6% to India's total GDP.
Okay, 6%. Now, maybe that doesn't sound huge at first glance.
Well, yeah, but put it in perspective. That single city generates more economic output than, many entire countries.
Right.
And what's really interesting is where it comes from. A lot of it is concentrated in those high-value sectors, like finance, specialized manufacturing. That kind of sets it apart.
And it's a massive producer, too, right? Something like 25% of India's industrial output.
Yeah, about a quarter. That's a staggering amount of goods, services coming out of just one urban area. It's huge.
Wow.
And maybe an even more direct measure, of its financial muscle. Tax revenue.
Ah, yes.
Mumbai generates nearly a third of India's total income tax collections.
1/3. That single figure really drives it home, doesn't it? How much wealth generation is packed in there?
It really does. It's the financial engine, basically, funding so much of the country's development.
Okay, so it feels like all the financial currents of India kind of flow through Mumbai. What are the big institutions there that sort of channel all this?
Well, right at the top, you've got the Reserve Bank of India, the RBI.
The central bank.
Exactly. Its headquarters are there. So that means Mumbai is where the literal levers of India's monetary policy are pulled.
Okay, explain that a bit. What kind of levers?
Things like the repo rate, for instance. That's the interest rate banks borrow from the RBI at. They use that to manage inflation, liquidity, across the whole country.
Right. So decisions made in Mumbai affect everyone's wallet, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah. That control just ripples outwards. It's the nerve center for the rupee's health.
And then you need someone to make sure everyone's playing fair in the markets, right?
Precisely. SEBI, the Securities and Exchange Board of India, India's market regulator, also based right there in Mumbai.
That makes sense, having them close to the RBI.
Yeah, it's no accident. It helps them coordinate. You keep things stable, keep investors confident.
Yeah.
SEBI looks into things like insider trading, for example, making sure it's a level playing field.
Got it. And then, of course, the actual marketplaces where the trading happens.
Absolutely vital. Mumbai's got the Bombay Stock Exchange, the BSE.
Which is famous for being old, right?
Incredibly old. Not just for India. It's Asia's oldest stock exchange. It goes all the way back to 1875.
Wow.
Its founding was like a really crucial early step for Indian capitalism, a physical symbol of that long history of trade.
And then there's the other big one, the NSE.
Right, the National Stock Exchange. Much newer, but it's exploded, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's huge now.
It's rapidly become one of the world's largest by market cap. Really embraced technology, innovation.
So having both BSE and NSE there.
It creates this incredibly vibrant, competitive environment, right? Pushes efficiency, attracts capital, both Indian and international. They really are symbols of India's economic transformation on the world stage.
Okay, so we've got the institutions, but Mumbai is also home base for so many of India's biggest companies, isn't it? Where the big decisions get made.
Exactly. You walk around, metaphorically speaking, and you find the headquarters of giants like Reliance Industries.
Energy, telecoms, everything.
Yeah, a behemoth. Then the Tata Group. I mean, they're in everything from cars to software. Aditya Birla Group.
Metals, textiles.
And L&T, Larsen & Toubro, the big engineering and construction firm.
Having them all concentrated there must create a kind of gravity.
It does. A powerful pull for talent, for investment, for all the smaller businesses that support them.
And it's not just Indian giants, right? Global companies are there too.
Absolutely. All the major multinational banks, big insurance companies, the global consulting firms, they all have a massive presence in Mumbai.
And that brings in foreign direct investment, FDI.
Exactly. It's not just the money, though. They bring expertise, global standards, which just makes the whole ecosystem richer.
Now, when you think about all this corporate and financial power concentrated, there's one specific area that often springs to mind, isn't there?
I bet you're thinking of the Bandra Kurla complex. BKC.
Yes, BKC. It's Mumbai's sort of purpose-built financial district.
That's a good way to put it. It really is a testament to the city's growth and, well, its ambition.
It definitely looks the part. All those sleek glass towers, people call it India's Wall Street.
And you can see why.
But what makes it different from, say, older business districts?
Well, apart from just looking modern, its real significance is that concentration of high-value financial services. Investment banks, private equity, the HQs for tons of multinationals.
Okay.
Unlike the older parts of South Mumbai, BKC was designed specifically for these sectors, so it fosters a more, integrated, efficient business environment.
Right, right. Okay, shifting gears a bit. We absolutely have to talk about Bollywood. You can't discuss Mumbai without it.
Definitely not. And its economic impact is, well, it's fascinating.
It's more than just movie tickets, isn't it?
Oh, way more. The films themselves generate billions in revenue, sure. But the impact spreads out much wider. It's a whole ecosystem.
Like what?
Well, think about global distribution deals, the merchandising, T-shirts, posters, everything. Then there's movie tourism, people visiting locations. And now, a huge one is digital streaming exports.
Yeah. Netflix, Amazon Prime.
Exactly. Bollywood films and stars have this massive global reach. They influence fashion, trends, how people around the world see India.
So it's a huge employer, too, then.
Huge. Hundreds of thousands of people just in Mumbai rely on the film and TV industry, directly or indirectly.
And it's a major cultural export. Soft power.
Precisely. It projects Indian stories, music, talent globally. It really adds to Mumbai's international profile.
Okay, so we have finance, industry, Bollywood, moving all these goods, services, and, 20 million plus people around must be an immense logistical challenge.
Oh, it's massive. But Mumbai's location is key here.
Yeah.
Being a major port city on the Arabian Sea is critical.
Right, the ports.
It's got two of India's busiest. Mumbai Port Trust, the older one, and JNPT, Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust, which is actually just across the harbor in Navi Mumbai.
And these are like the main arteries for India's trade.
Pretty much. They handle a huge chunk of the country's imports and exports. Think oil, chemicals, clothes, electronics, everything.
So if there's a problem at the ports...
It affects the whole country's trade balance, industry competitiveness. Disruptions there have nationwide consequences.
And inside the city, getting around, there's always talk about new infrastructure projects.
Constantly, because they have to keep upgrading. The Mumbai Metro project is a huge one.
Right, the subway system.
Yeah, trying to ease the pressure on the often incredibly crowded suburban trains, improve the daily commute for millions.
And that coastal road project along the west side.
That's a big engineering job. The idea is to ease that terrible traffic congestion along the coast, save people time, boost productivity.
Makes sense. And the Trans-Harbor Link, connecting to Navi Mumbai.
Yeah, the MTHL. That's going to dramatically cut travel times between the island city and Navi Mumbai. Should open up whole new areas for development, too.
And looking even further ahead, there's a whole new airport coming up in Navi Mumbai.
The Navi Mumbai International Airport. That's expected to be another major aviation gateway for the whole region. More capacity for passengers, for cargo. It should really spur growth.
So all these projects are basically essential to keep the city and its economy moving.
Absolutely vital.
Yeah.
Can't sustain the momentum without them.
So with all this activity, the institutions, the companies, the global links, how does Mumbai actually stack up globally as a financial center?
It's getting noticed.
Yeah.
It consistently ranks in the top 30 global financial hubs.
Okay, alongside places like
Singapore, Frankfurt, Dubai, established players. So being in that league shows its increasing integration into the global financial system.
That's pretty impressive. It's not just a regional hub anymore.
No, it's definitely playing on a bigger stage.
Yeah.
And a key part of that recently is the startup scene. It's booming.
Ah, yes, the tech startups.
Especially in areas like fintech, changing how financial services work, edtech, transforming education, health tech.
And presumably that's driven by a lot of young, skilled people.
Exactly. Young, ambitious talent. And you're seeing serious venture capital money flowing in, both Indian and international.
So there's real confidence in its future.
Yeah, there's a strong belief, I think, that Mumbai has the potential to become a major innovation hub for Asia in the coming years.
Okay. Now, we've painted a picture of a really powerful economic engine, but we have to address the other side too. The challenges are pretty stark, aren't they?
That's critical, yes. You can't talk about Mumbai's success without acknowledging the massive income inequality.
The contrast is just jarring sometimes.
Yeah,
You see these incredibly wealthy homes like Antilia and then vast slums.
exactly. Estimates are that over 40% of the city's huge population lives in these informal settlements.
Often without reliable access to basic things like water or sanitation.
Precisely. Overcrowding, housing that's often unsafe, and then the constant threat of monsoon flooding. These are daily realities that impact millions of lives and, their economic chances.
And the infrastructure, even with all the new projects, it feels like it's always straining to keep up.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
The sheer scale of the population and the economic activity puts immense pressure on transport, on utilities. The need for constant upgrades is just relentless.
And being a coastal city, climate change must be a looming threat.
It is. Rising sea levels, coastal erosion, these are serious long-term risks for Mumbai. They need careful planning, serious investment to mitigate the potential impact.
And yet, despite all these huge hurdles, Mumbai just keeps going. It functions, it grows, it hustles. It's kind of amazing.
It really is. The resilience is incredible. Day in, day out, it somehow manages these pressures, adapts, keeps that economic energy alive.
Yeah.
There's this palpable grit, maybe.
Yeah, grit. That feels right. It feels like every single person, every Mumbai car is part of that relentless forward motion. It's just this powerful story of urban survival and economic evolution playing out.
A story that's definitely not finished yet. It keeps unfolding.
Indeed. It's clear Mumbai is the undisputed financial core of India, a powerhouse of economy, a crucible of culture.
And when you really stop and think about this sheer concentration of human activity, of ambition, packed into that one urban space, its global impact is just undeniable, and it's still growing.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it, how such a complex, pressured system manages not just to survive, but actually to thrive, despite facing so many significant challenges day after day, something to really mull over. Thanks for diving deep with us today.